Welcome back to the weekly recap. I'm Matt Wacker. After leading the Miners football program to its first postseason victory in nearly 7 decades, head coach Tyler Fenwick is stepping down. Fenwick announced on January 11th that he had accepted the head coaching job at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Defensive coordinator Todd Drury has been named the new head coach. Fenwick was named the Great Lakes Valley Conference Coach of the Year after an incredible 10-2 season, only the program's third 10-win season in its history. Motorhead Events made its way to the Lebanon area to host the Blizzard Bash Demolition Derby. This refined evening was filled with missing bumpers, dented fenders, and a trophy prize of $1,200 to the champion.
Hi, I'm Rob Baker with Motorhead Events. We're here at Lebanon. We actually call it Blizzard Bash with 14 inches of snow on the ground. This evening we have 44 total competitors for 4 different states. We have the full-size class and we have the little front-wheel drive cars, which they're going to get nuts here in a little bit. 3 qualifying heats. We take the last 3 cars unless they put on a show. If they put on a show, then we'll do the top 4, which is our last qualifying heat. We took 4 out of it because those guys were super aggressive with their gas pedal and putting on a good show. We took 4 out of it to earn their right to the finals for the big money, $1,200 to win tonight. We have several Mad Dog Tour here coming up. We have 4 indoor events here in Lebanon, Missouri, Claremore, Oklahoma next weekend. We go to Shelbyville, Tennessee, and Lincoln, Nebraska. So we do a Midwest tour in the winter. There are an average derby car, you're going to spend probably $1,500, depending on what you pay for the car. If you're lucky enough to get a car for a couple $100, you can. Now that's just at this event. We have what we call hobo class cars, which is basically you knock the windows out, chain the doors, and wreck it. That is basically a $500-600 build car. Just come have fun. And tonight we had a family from Lebanon here. I don't recall their name, but a family came, and they had hobo cars basically. Never built a car in their life, but mom, dad, and the son. And they're all having a blast. They're actually in the second qualifying heat. They've never done it in their life, but when it was over with, I went out and talked to them, and everyone went up had smiles from ear to ear. We got a pretty good packed house. These cars are, as you're going to see some of the footage, is pretty wrecked and mangled. It's amazing what these guys will do to stretch them back out and come back out here. Up front, and you can't get any more aggressive than right out here. Then when that guy cuts you off, guess what? Smack him out here in the track and you feel better.
A graduate of Missouri S&T was recently selected for induction into the United States Astronaut Hall of Fame. Dr. Janet Cavandy earned her master's degree right here in Rolla and has enjoyed an astronomical career that includes orbiting the Earth 535 times. She was born in Springfield and is now the director of the NASA Research Center in Cleveland. The induction ceremony is scheduled for April 6th at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Fire hydrants and fine art, not 2 things you'd expect to hear in the same sentence. The City of Sullivan has found an interesting way to maintain their fire hydrants, and City Administrator J.T. Hardy had a very personal hand in creating the program. Take a look.
The problem is that there's a lot of fire hydrants all over our community. We replace them as they get older, but sometimes it's hard for us to keep up with making sure that they're painted or look appropriate, or they're not grown up with weeds and or surrounded by bushes. So back in 2013, it was Memorial Weekend, and I was doing some yard work, and I was working around our fire hydrant in our yard, and I realized that it was kind of rusty and just seemed like it needed a new fresh coat of paint or something to liven it up. And as a city administrator, the fire hydrants are actually ours to take care of. And I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to liven mine up a little bit. And so I just took some tape and made some vertical lines and cut out stars like an American flag. And I pasted on Facebook. I said, is this something that other people would want to do, basically? And some people were interested in it. So I thought, wow, maybe a way that we could resolve this problem, maybe we should do an adopt a hydrant program. And that way a person can select a hydrant somewhere. And there's a form, they can say where the hydrant's located, they can say what their thought would be, what they want to make it, the theme. And then they would submit it to me, and I would make sure the colors are appropriate with the fire department. I would make sure that it was something that wasn't offensive and not necessarily marketing a business. It really caught on. People really started to. I did something simple, just 3 basic colors, and but then people started using their artistic abilities and making all kinds of different hydrants that I would have never thought a person could do. A gentleman and his wife really likes The Great Gatsby. So they hired an artist to come paint the hydrant with the theme of The Great Gatsby. Fidelity Communications actually did Captain Powerful. The Catholic Church did a nun, which is very, very cute. I like this one myself, being a Star Wars fan. The Center family, Justin Center and his family did R2-D2. We have Jesse James, Merrimack Caverns did this one. And I've been so amazed at the different types of hydrants. We did have a local artist who very creative on a three-dimensional. You know, artists a lot of times just do on 2D, but she took the three-dimensional fire hydrant and she was able to make a stand usual. And so as it grew, the hard part was getting people to let me know that they were going to do them. So what I started doing was, as they did them, I said, if you let me know that you're doing it, or if you do it and just at least send me a picture, tell me where it's located and your name. And so basically on our website, it'll show a picture of the fire hydrant. It'll say who the sponsor of the fire hydrant is, and then it'll show the location. And if you recall, talking about adopt a hydrant, now a person has a personal relationship and tie to this hydrant, so hopefully they're going to take care of it long term. One that really touched me was really early on. A mother and a child asked me if they were renting a place, and there was a fire hydrant out front, and they said, it's not ours, but can we do this one? And I said, well, what would you like to do? And she said she wanted to do a gumball machine. It's really neat because her and her son work together on this. Now every time they come home, this is something that identifies with them. It's been a lot more than I've ever expected. It's even you being here today is much more publicity than we ever expected it would get.
To see what Sullivan's Adopt a Hydrant program has to do with Route 66, check out our Facebook page for more. Well, there's a new millionaire in our midst, and sadly, it's not me. Linda Ragland of Rolla claimed a $2.9 million lotto jackpot recently. The winning ticket was purchased at the break time on Highway 72 in Rolla. Linda, in case you're in need of a new best friend, I think I might know a guy. That's all for now. Thanks for watching the weekly recap. I'll see you next time.
Whether you live in Lebanon, Rolla, Salem, Thayer, or West Plains, with the new year, it means that state and federal taxes will once again be due soon. We're still calculating our numbers from last year, but 2 years ago, Better Business Bureau processed approximately 2,400 complaints against tax return preparation services and related businesses, including accountants preparing tax returns. For those complaints, the median disputed amount was about $500. Now, BBB has seen even more tax-related scams than before. 2 years ago, BB received about 3,500 reports to our BB Scam Tracker about con artists that are claiming to be with the Internal Revenue Service. If you've fallen for an IRS scam, you can let us know on bbb.org/scam tracker. Here's how you can recognize a scammer. The IRS will never call you. If someone is calling you and pretending to be with the IRS, write down their number and hang it up. Now go ahead, if somebody is saying that they can electronically deliver your information instead of mail it, don't trust that. Understand how tax scams work and be on the guard for red flags such as calls or receiving a kind of letter that doesn't appear to be official. Do not give out your social security number, bank account information, etc. over the phone. And of course, check out Trustworthy Tax Preparedness and Great Accountants on bbb.org.